So good afternoon, everyone. I have already set the deadline of your websites on Monday. Okay, so remember, you should be able to launch a website no? In either your GitHub account or a GitHub repository or your or W3 Spaces. It doesn't have to be a very elaborate website. No? As long as you have a portion for you to submit your assignments. No? The part there that needs to show your assignments. No? So I had a problem with Abalos and is it Abalos ba? And Tupas. No? Let me look at this. No? So Tupas, are you there? Tupas?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Kasi
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Ang nilagay mo dito is the site for your GitHub.
Sorry, sir.
So anyway, you know how to publish, right?
I'm not really sure, pero maghanap na lang ako ng tutorial.
Okay, I have mentioned that the first meeting, no? Yung tutorial natin sa first meeting. Okay. In the tutorial in the first meeting, I have shown you how to publish the website, no? And it's the published site that you put it there, that you put here. I think, no? Katulad dito, yung sa kanila, let me show you. Si Abalos din yata eh, no? Bunga ka sa very, no? Sa very elaborate.
Sir, nakapublish na ako, sir. Mali lang na link na lagay ko.
Mali lang ito?
Kay Abalos po, sir.
Okay, sige, you put me another one, no? Ito kay Bungag. Pero ito kay Bungag, wala pang works, assignment. There's no portion for assignments, no?
Yes, sir. Hindi ko pa alam anong ilagay, sir.
Okay. And then, si Abalos ba yan? Si Abalos ang Tupas.
Okay. Yes, sir. I-change ko lang submission ko, sir. Mali yung link na lagay ko.
Yeah, that's a wrong link.
Okay din, sir. I-change ko na lang din later.
Kanino ba yung medyo? There's a portion which has assignments. Ito, ganito, no? May assignment 1. You put a portion for assignments. So I can just click and then view your assignments from there. Okay, so I don't have to check your assignments, run your assignments one by one. Okay, so the deadline for this will be on Monday next week. Okay, everyone, so far I only have 9 submissions, and there are sino ito si Takihita? Maya? F. Please don't log in with aliases or strange names, okay? You're not allowed to do that, okay? No, I will not let you in if I don't know you, okay? So anyway, so this is the site. No? Now, if you look at our website, Daigler class, no, the Daiglers, I've added certain references there, and you see there are so many new technologies that I'd like to introduce, no, and it may take us the whole first grading period to finish CSS, no, including Bootstrap and W3. Okay, I'm going to upload the references as we go along, no? And then we will have our first assessment on January 17, formative assessment, okay? The coverage will be CSS, SAS, Bootstrap, and W3. Okay, I'd like you to go ahead, no, and look at this video, SAS tutorial, no? SAS is a very new technology which was introduced in 2018. No? It's very popular now, no? It's a programming language used to program CSS. Okay, it's a very easy, no? It makes CSS much easier, no? And then we have the W3 Schools tutorial. You watch this first before you go through this, no? It's a programming language that will help us do better CSS. Being a programming language, no? You will be able to declare functions, declare variables, no? And format the output will be a CSS, no? Nowadays, no, presently, there's no browser that interprets a SAS file, no? A SAS program. But eventually, no, as SAS is becoming more and more popular, eventually if the browsers will support SAS, CSS will become obsolete. Okay? Do you follow? Everyone? So you watch this tutorial, ha? Sino marunong mag-SAS?
Sir, pareho lang yun, sir, sa SCSS.
A lot better, no? A lot better. You can install an extension in VS Code. Install that SAS extension, and then you write your SAS code, and then when you compile it, it will create a CSS. Very easy, very interesting, no? Eventually, no, if SAS will become supported by, eventually, no, it will be supported by browsers. And when they are supported by browsers, sadly, no, I think, no, CSS, the natural CSS will die a natural death. No? Okay, we will try to discuss this, but I'd like you to look at these videos because we have a very long coverage for our FA, no? Ang haba ng ating coverage, we have CSS, SAS, Bootstrap, and W3. So if you may not cover everything, you have to study them on your own. These are very simple things, no? Simple lang ito masyado. Even high school students can learn them on their own, okay? I've gone through this already, no, myself. I will add a performance assessment for each of you. No, I'm still designing the performance assessment, which you will do probably during the Christmas break. Okay, para malaking time, you are going to create a web page that will make use of CSS, SAS, Bootstrap, and W3. Okay? Any questions so far? Ryuka, no? Ihara. Just 20 again. Any questions so far? So maganda ito, no? This is a very interesting, it's called extension in VS Code, no? So far, I've seen it run on VS Code only, no? So how can you use it in W3? Yes, what you do is you have to install your VS Code and then upload the resulting CSS file. Kasi ang i-compile ng SAS is CSS. Do you follow? So last meeting, I've introduced you to CSS. It's called cascading style sheet. And I've given you an example. No? And a very important part when you are doing CSS is knowing the selector. Okay? Knowing the selector, the selection process. No? So the CSS selector will allow you to create rules, no, for classify or rather for styling the different elements that are already present in your HTML document. Do you follow? So we have it here, no? So ito, no? If you view the page source, no? So we have the styles. Now the style tag is used to introduce CSS rules in your web page. No? So that means we target or we select those elements that are belonging to a particular class. No? We already have discussed what a class is, diba? Have you used classes? Are there questions about classes? No. So you can assign an element to a class. No, like in this case, the welcome bar classifies H1, rather identifies H1 and P, the first P, as belonging to the class welcome bar. No? So when you say that welcome bar color brown, all classes, all elements belonging to the class welcome bar will have a color brown. Do you follow? Now, we can elements, no, rather rules which target the same can be combined. Okay, do you follow this? We will combine this. I'm still using W3, no? Kasi mas madali dito, no? So for example, we can combine this whole thing, no? By separating each rule with a semicolon. Okay? Pwede separating each rule. In fact, you can have for certain properties like fonts, no? You can have a single font indicator, no? To enumerate, no, several properties at the same time. Do you follow? Font family. Okay. So pwede na ito. Did you get the point? We'll remove this. We'll remove this. No? Then we save. The only problem with the editing in W3 is there's no drop down, no? Okay. Unlike in Visual Studio. Now, for example, here subject title. We can now combine this into one rule and subject description into one statement with several rules, and then each rule being separated from the others with semicolons. No? So okay na ito, no? And then we'll have a subject description rule, which we can separate. Okay. Okay, do you follow? Do you get my point? No? Pwede natin i-combine into all properties. We can combine them together in one curly brace. Okay, so that it will be easy for us to identify. We don't have to separate them into separate indicators. No? So if you refresh, we get the same result. Okay, do you follow, everyone? No? So you must have practiced this already. Some of you, or maybe not, but you need to practice this. CSS is an important component in any web design, no? You follow? Okay, so the dollar will pick or will identify a particular ID. Like for example, the subject title chemistry here is given an ID chemistry. Although it belongs to the class subject title, no? This rule will apply both. So in this case, no, chemistry will have a color of blue and the background color of light gray, separate from the other members of the class, because this is used to target, okay, an ID belonging to chemistry. This is the ID. Okay, do you follow now? No. So it is very important that you know how to select. No? Use the selector. So we have a summary here of selection. No? That intro will select all elements with class intro. That class 1 and that class 2 will select all elements with both. Okay, it's either name with both, no both ba or either. No, one word, no. Okay, kung one word, no separation. All elements, both name 1 and name 2. Set within its class attribute. I think it's any, no? And that class 1 space that class 2 selects all elements with name 2 as a descendant of element 1, which means that a div named name 2 inside class 1. Do you follow? Or class 2 inside class 1. Do you follow? And then the sharp or the hashtag is used to identify a particular ID, as we have shown in chemistry. Do you follow? Star selects all elements. A particular element, when you say P, selects all paragraphs. When you say H1, it selects all headers. H will select all headings regardless whether they're H1, H2, and H3. Okay. Div, comma, P selects all the div elements and all P elements. No, either like this. No, like that class 1 and that class 2. No. This will apply both to divs and Ps. No? Div space P will choose all elements inside the div. Any questions? No? So, kung may div, you know what a div is? It's a division. No? It's like a section, no? But It's just a division in your in your page. No? It's like a Facebook post where a post is occupied or stored in one division. Okay. Div space P selects P elements inside the div, and div greater than P selects all elements where the parent is a div. Okay, regardless whether it's the grandparent, basta ang parent niya div. Div plus P selects the first paragraph in a div. Okay. P tilde UL. UL is an unordered list. No? Selects every UL element that is preceded by a paragraph. Okay. So all unordered lists that are preceded, that are inside a paragraph, will be selected by this. No? Okay. So any attribute, no, H1 no, will occur, no. And then another important part is the hrefs, no, or the anchor tags. Okay, when you have a href and like this, no, this will select anchor tags which begins with HTTPS. Okay, do you follow ito? Okay, can you see that? You can look at that from the W3 School site. W3 School is an amazing website nowadays, no? It's trying to expand into many other ventures, like it's creating its own W3 space, so it's going to compete with GitHub soon. And it has a lot of materials, no? Comparable to GitHub. And it's better organized than GitHub. Do you follow? Kasi may single author. And then, aside from W3 space, it's also creating W3.css. Okay, ito, W3.css, which is going to compete with Bootstrap. Ngayon, they're head-on to head-on, no? They're now competing head-on to head-on. In the past, we will only discuss, in this class, we only discuss Bootstrap. But since W3 is becoming more and more popular, we have included it in our syllabus. Okay? Anyway, it's much easier, no? Mas madali siya sa Bootstrap. Okay, ahref this, no? What you call this hot equals, we'll select all anchor tags with HTTPS. This will select, okay, all anchor tags with anchor elements whose attributes ends with PDF. Lahat ng mga PDF, no? Ito contains, no? Contains. Okay. This one, P dot after, no? Insert something after a content, any content. You can insert a word, no? Okay. Insert something after a content of each element. P dot before will insert something before the content of each element, no? Which means you can insert what I think you can insert an image, you can insert whatever it is, no? PMT selects a P element that has no children. This one is important. P first child selects the first element, regardless whether it's another paragraph, it's a table, no? The first child. The first letter is P first letter. The first line is P first line. And many others. A hover is important, no? When you hover your mouse over an anchor tag, no? What will you do? Okay, what will you want? What change the color or whatever, no? A hover. Okay. You can change the color of an anchor tag when a mouse is hovered over it, no? So many, there's so many. P last child, the last element. This is important, not the end child, even and odd. We will use this when we style tables. Only child, and so many others. We cannot discuss all of them. Basta you visit this site, okay? Selectors.asp at CSW3 schools. Okay? You visit this site if you want to make use of a particular selector. Okay? So, styling text. What are the different properties that we can use to style text? We have used this already. First is color. We have included this in our W3 spaces. Then color, no? Color black. So the color of the text is black. No? Sometimes it's confusing to determine between text and font. No? Actually, a font has something to do with the way the font style. No, it's the way it is displayed. No, the shape. Font has something to do with the shape. When you say text, it applies to the content, whether it's paragraph or header. No, anything that has text. Text is separate from image. No, and anchor tags, video tags. No, so separate siya. But font is a property of text. Okay, font is a sub-property of text. All text will have fonts. Okay, any questions so far? Okay, so the first, when you say color, so when you say body color, the body will have the same color. Each one will have a color green. Background color, we have demonstrated this. Okay, the color of the background of any text. This will apply to text. Text alignment, the second property. We have center, left, right, and justify. Okay. Now, if you are using Word, you will be tend to looking for underline and italicize in font, but that is not so. Text decoration identifies whether it's underlined, overlined, underline. Italicize is, I'm sorry, I think italicize is font, but underline, overline is text decoration. Is there a text decoration for tingnan ko nga yung underline kung nasa font, let's Google that. Italics. Yes. Italics is not text decoration. Font style, yes. So ang italicize is font, not text. Let's just go back to text. Text decoration, you'll have by default it's none. Overline, line through, underline. Transformation, case transformation. You can either transform to uppercase, lowercase, or capitalize. Capitalize is like a title case where only the first letter of the word is capitalized. The text spacing, text spacing between words. I don't know the default, but you can spread it out by enlarging the text spacing. And then there's the first, by the way, is text indent, indentation of every paragraph. You have tried this already. And then there's letter spacing. Okay, the spacing in between letters. The line height. Okay, the line height of a paragraph per line. Okay, you can increase or decrease the line height. P.1 means all paragraphs with a class of 1. P.2 is all paragraphs with a class of 2. Can we try this for spacing? Okay, so ito, this is 10. This is the normal. This is a spacing of 10 pixels. This is a spacing of -2 pixels. Do you follow? So you can spread out the words in a paragraph using the property word spacing. Okay, word spacing, word spacing, that's done. Line height, let's try this. So 1.8, let's try this at 3.8. Ito yung big. Asan yung big? Asan si big? P class big. This is a bigger line height. So magaba siya. It's not the font that becomes bigger, but it's the line. Okay. Shall we say we'll make this 5. So it's the line that extends, It's not the font. Okay. Any questions so far? Line height of a paragraph. Okay. Word spacing of a paragraph. The white space within an element. Can we try this? Haven't tried this. This is some text that will not wrap. It will not wrap around, no? Let's remove this. So that's wrap around, not just like justify. Okay. When you say no wrap, it will not wrap around the paragraph. It will just occupy one line. Oh, ganun, okay. The white space, it will not wrap around the white spaces. Okay. Any questions so far? Text shadow, we have discussed this, no? Ganito, no? Lagyan niya ng shadow. Okay. Any questions? So these are the important properties that we need to use in order to style text, no? Paragraphs and headings, text and fonts. Let's go to Bigler. Wala na tayo, no? So fonts. Ito yan. First is font family. What do you mean by font family? The type of font that is displayed on a web page depends on the type of fonts that are supported by the browser. Do you follow? Of course, nowadays, there are so many fonts supported by Google Chrome and Edge and ano pa yan, no? Or Opera browser, Mozilla Firefox, no? Firefox. There are so many fonts. Now, when you say font family, you can identify a series of fonts, no? Fonts that are in several words should be enclosed in double quotes. A selection, this is a selection between fonts, no? Which means first it will apply Times New Roman. If there's no Times New Roman, it will apply Times. If there's no Times, it will apply serif. If there's no serif, it will apply from a family of fallback fonts, no? Supported by all browsers, no? So maghanap siya ng sariling font doon sa fallback family of fonts. Okay? Do you follow? Font web safe. These are safe fonts which are always present, no? In any browser like Tahoma, Verdana, Sans Serif. These are the family of fonts, no? That are web safe, no? Arial, Verdana, Helvetica, Tahoma, Trebuchet, MS Trebuchet for small letters, no? Walang Calibre, which is a very useful font. Times New Roman, Georgia, no? Garamond, Courier, and Bushscript. These are wave safe fonts that also are supported by all browsers. Fallbacks, no? Ito yung mga fallback fonts which may commonly use fallbacks, no? Generic ito, serif, sans serif, monospace, cursive, and fantasy. Ito yung sample nila, no? Okay? These are the sample fonts you can choose from. Okay? Font style. It's either normal, italic, or oblique. Okay? Okay, so nandito sa font style ang italic. Pero yung underline is in font, rather text decoration. Nasa text ang underline, no? Wala sa font. Okay, you have to take note of that. Remember that, no? Font size by pixels, no? Yan. Okay, what's the default? 16, I think, is the default. No? Okay. You can calculate, no? What's EM? I'm not sure about this, but you can try this yourself. No? EM is current for font size. No? When you say 2.5 EM, that's 2.5 times of the current size used by the browser. No? Google fonts, no, you can include this line in your header, and you will be able to use a lot of Google fonts. I mean, I've seen some of your websites, no, who have used Google fonts and Font Awesome. No? Font pairing. Sometimes it's good to have font pairings. Why is that? What is this? Font pairings are pairs of fonts that look alike, no? Like Verdana and Sans Serif. No? Because if Verdana is not present, sans serif will be used instead. Can we look that up? No. Verdana font. No, sorry. Ganyan ang Verdana. Sans serif. Sans serif font. Ito ang sans serif, oh. And then where's Verdana? It's like this. They're very close, no? They look alike. Okay. So sometimes it's good to have font pairings, no? So that if one font is not there, its closer look-alike will be used. Georgia and serif. Okay, you can try this. Okay. Erase this. H1. So this is the H1. Let's try Georgia. Georgia. Halos wala, di ba? Walang pinagkaiba. Serif. Now you can change the font size. So it doesn't matter which it's either heading as a default, no? Let's try Verdana. Body. So that's Verdana. Okay. I'm sorry. How do you undo? Let's sans serif. Yan ang Verdana, no? The pair is sans serif. Have a semicolon. So yun yung sans serif. Verdana. They're different. For me, no? They're different. But I don't know why they're classified as sun. Okay. Do you follow? Okay. So this is a good thing about W3 schools. We can't beat this, no? If you're a teacher and you're going to beat this, you will be desperate. So I'm just trying to reuse what's available there because ang ganda niya, no? Diba? Have you used this in your other subjects? Everyone? Kasi this also has Java, Python, PHP. Okay? jQuery, HTML, and I think there's is there a W3 school for C#? But there's a MySQL, no? O merong W3 school C#. Do you follow? Is there a W3 school for MySQL? I think it's SQL, no? There is a W3 school for MySQL. No? Do you follow? Is there a for jQuery? You have everything here. From the beginning to the last, no? You have all things that you need in W3 schools, okay? So font pairings, no? There's Ubuntu and LoRa, okay? You can try that yourself. Font shorthand. Now, instead of indicating your font properties one by one, there's a font shorthand. Will you say where you just say font, no, and enumerate a series of properties. Okay. When you say font, the first is font style. What's font style? It's either uppercase or lowercase. Do you follow? No? Font style. And then the second is font variant. So itong font style, italic, small caps. Okay. Font variant, because weight is bold. No? And then followed by size and height, followed by the last is the font family. No? First is font style, no? Italic, font style ito font style, no, which is italic, oblique, normal. Okay. The second is font variant. What's font variant? I think this is the one with uppercase or lowercase, no? Oh, small caps nga, no? When you say font variant lowercase, do you follow? Or say font variant uppercase or font variant capitalized, no? Dito ang font variant, okay? Do you follow? Font weight, bold, no? Bold or normal, okay? Size and line height, no? How many pixels will be the width? By font size, we mean width and height. And then the last is font family, no? Now, instead of using font individual properties, you can just say font, followed by, this is called a font shorthand, no? Para maisa mo na lang lahat ng properties. Any questions so far? No? So we have done that already. Balik na lang tayo, no? So, sumubra. Okay. Colors. Okay. By the way, no, Visual Studio Code has a color selector. Have you tried this? You don't have to pick a particular color. You can pick from a variety of colors. Okay. You can try that yourself. No? Kayo na mag-explore niyan. Okay. So these are the different colors. No? Tomato, Dodger blue. No? Incidentally, no, W3 spaces doesn't have a color selector. Do you follow? You will have border colors. No? You can assign a border. A style is a shorthand for colors. No? A shorthand for colors. Style is border, 2 pixels, solid, and tomato. Okay? It's a shorthand. Style is a shorthand. But the problem with style is this doesn't apply to a style sheet. Okay? Do you follow? Hindi to mag-apply sa style sheet. This is HTML, okay? So we don't want to use that, no? RGB colors. Now there's an RGB function, no, in CSS. You can say RGB 25500, which means the first is for how red, the second is how green, and how blue. So when you say RGB 60179113, you're just like mixing paint, no? 60 parts of red, 179 parts of green, and 113 parts of blue. Do you follow? You're like mixing paint here. You can use the hex values, no, of colors also by preceding the colors with a hashtag. Okay. Do you follow? hue, saturation, and lightness. Now, what is hue? Kung gaano siya ka, okay? This is zero hue. Okay. Diba? Saturation, like on TV. No? Lightness. Do you follow? You can assign the using these colors, using these functions. No? Here's an example. Okay. HSL function, okay? HSL. Do you follow? No? This is included in the HTML, but you can also include this in your style sheet. HSL are RGB and HSL are CSS functions. Okay, so RGB, how much you're mixing colors, no? HSL is hue, saturation, and lightness. No? You can adjust, no? Ito, ma-pick mo. Okay. Okay. Do you follow? Any questions so far? Problema, malayo na tayo masyado sa ano. That's colors. Height and width. No? So you can identify, for example, the height and width of a paragraph, of a div, okay, in terms of number of pixels. Let's try that. That's 200 pixels of height. So let me say make it 300. Magtaas siya, no? Okay. Width is 50% of the current screen size. Do you follow? When you say 50%, but you can say also 500 px. Kaya ba? Yes. No, 400 lang. Okay. Because you have the size, okay? Do you follow? Depending on the size of your resolution. But if you want it according to the size of the current resolution, you can say percent. So you say we'll have this as height as 100%. Okay? So hindi na niya masyadong inano, no? So we'll say 100 px. No, sorry, walang semicolon. The height pala is according to the size of the content. Pixels. Okay. Height and width. You can also apply this to headings. Okay. Any questions so far? Height and width. No? We have tried this already in our W3 spaces. Okay. Oh, ito yung 800 pixels ang paragraph. Okay. We haven't adjusted the size, no? Or rather the height. The height we just adjust, no? Because we did not align this into grids or tables. Okay. So I'd like you to think of something. I'm trying to come up with a performance assessment of this. No? I'm going to give you text, lorem ipsum, no? Lorem ipsum, and then menus, and then images. I'm going to make you arrange them into a presentable web page using CS. I'm still thinking about that, no? But I'm going to give that to you before the Christmas break. Okay? Box model. Okay? You can put a box model to your paragraphs and your divs. Okay? Ito, no? A div with a box. Okay? So there's a background color, which is light gray. This is the background color. A border, solid green. This is the border. Okay. A padding and a margin. We will explain what a padding and a margin is. Okay. Any questions? No? So box model, no? When you want to create a box, no? Background Background color. Okay. Background image. No, you can use a GIF or a JPEG. No, to as your background image like this. Some of you have tried that already in your website. No, background image. Like do a background image for for your body. Background repeat. Okay, let's try this now. What's the difference between ito? This is not a background without a background repeat, which means that if your image is smaller than your actual screen, okay, it will have to fill it several times in order to fill the whole screen. No? However, if you will have a background repeat, it will extend repeat X. No, i-extend now repeat X. It will extend the whole image to fit into your screen. No? So no repeat. Let's try this. Okay. So no repeat. And then okay. What's another? The position of your background. Okay. Right top. What are the available no? Right top. Shall we have it right bottom? Right bottom. Hindi na siya nagkasya kaya nagkaganon. Okay, so say left bottom. Okay. Left top. That's with you the respect of your body. Okay, nabaliktad no? Okay. Do you follow? With respect to the body. The body has a background image, no? A background repeat with no repeat. Okay. Repeat X. Okay. Repeat X, no? So can we have repeat 2? Wala. Repeat X lang. Okay. Repeat 2. So, sorry, wala pala nilagay na, no? Wala, no? So we have no repeat. Here, no? There should be a dash. They follow? No repeat. Background attachment. Scroll or fix. Okay. Fixed. Let's try this, no? So, hindi siya mag-scroll, no? They follow? Okay, so we say, ano bang choices? Scroll. So it will scroll, no? Do you follow? The background image. Background shorthand, like the font shorthand, no? The first is the background color. The next is the background image. The next is the background repeat. And the last is the background position. Okay? So ito na yung ano. Do you follow? So una yung background color. Followed by the image. And the repeat. And the position. Okay? Ayan. Okay? We can have it as pero walang ano, no? Walang scroll or fixed. Okay? So there's no scroll or fix, so or attachment. So therefore you have to separate attachment into a separate rule. So with W3 schools, you can explore everything, no? Backgrounds, borders. So borders, no? You can have border style. Dotted, dashed, solid, double, groove, ridge. Okay. Border style. So the different styles, no? You try this yourself na lang, ha? Nandiyan naman yan, okay? Border width. How large the border will be. Okay. So border style ang una, no? Okay. Border width. In terms of pixels, no? Solid ang style. Tapos the border width is medium. You can also do that, no? The color of the border. Border sides. Which sides do you want, no? The top is dotted. The right is solid. The bottom is, no? Of course, there's also a border shorthand, which comes as follows: the width, the style, and the color. Rounded borders, no? How do you do that? Border radius, no? That's the property that identifies borders. Okay, I don't have to show you examples, no? You just try them yourself. If you try all of them, no, we will waste a whole semester on CSS, no? CSS can be taken in one semester, considering that you have new updates or new upcoming, meron pang Materialize. There are 3 brands, no, of CSS. You have Bootstrap, you have W3, and you have Materialize, and many others, no. I think I've seen many others in your web page. What's a margin? Anyone? A margin is the space around an element outside its defined borders, no? So margin top, margin left, in terms of pixels, no? Margin top, margin left, margin bottom, margin right, okay? So what's the difference between a margin and a padding? A margin is the space outside the border. Do you follow? A padding is a space surrounding, no? Inside the border, surrounding the element inside the border. Do you follow? Okay. So ito yung okay, ito yung Let's try something with both margins and the box model, no? Ito. Okay. We have a padding of 50 pixels and a margin of 20 pixels. Let's find out, no? So this is the border. Okay, do you follow? Ito yung border. And the margin is outside the border. Okay? And the padding is inside the border. This is 50 pixels. Let's make this 10 pixels. Tingnan mo, ang padding nagliit. Okay? Let's make the margin 50 pixels. So it's the space outside the border. Do you follow? Let's make the border width as 100 pixels. So nagliit. Okay? Border width, a div width. No, that's not the border width. This is the div width. Okay? The border width is this, no? So we say 5 pixels. Nagliit ang border. Okay? So any questions so far? No? Outline, no? It's like a border. What's the difference between an outline and a border? They're almost the same. You find it out, no? We cannot discuss everything. There's so many details. So we'll only discuss the most commonly used ones, and then you make use of the others. No? So what's the difference between a padding and a margin? A margin is the space around an element outside the border. No? A padding is a space around the element inside the border. Okay? Now, you may ask, what if you have a paragraph, a part of which you want underlined, or a part of which you want italicized? Anyone? You have a paragraph, a portion inside you want italicized, you want underlined. How will you do that?
separate na paragraph tag, sir.
Dili, ma-separate line siya. Di ba? Let's try a paragraph from our website. Na? Dito sa W3 Spaces. Okay. Itong science, for example, gawin ko itong underline. What's underlined? It's a font. What? It's a text decoration. Do you follow? So to do that, you use a tag, no? An HTML tag called span. Diba? Span. Okay. And I can assign a class to this span as topic. Okay. Do you follow? And then in my family, in my, I can target topic, p dot topic, okay. Text decoration. There it is. May lumabas. Buti lang meron. Text decoration is underline. I'll save this and find out what will happen. Ito naman, nag-underline, di ba? Do you follow? Do you follow? Anyone? Okay. So, for example, living organisms, I want this a different color. Okay? Living organisms, I want it a different color. So, what will I do there? So, I'll have another span. A span is a portion in your paragraph. No? Let's say ID. Living. Okay. Okay. So I can have here star living. Other in the star, hashtag living. I can say color red. Okay. I'll go back here. Refresh. Oh, nag-red na siya. Do you follow? Okay. Any questions so far? So how do I target particular text or set of words, no? A subset of your paragraph or your heading. You assign it a span and you cover it with a span and assign it a span class or a ID. And then you target that ID in your styles, no? Dito. Do you follow? So that's called styling span tags, no? Text within text. Okay? This is very important, no? Span tags, no? Do you follow? Okay. What will happen if you make a paragraph within a paragraph? Will it continue to a next, no? I haven't tried that, but I think the span tag is the most, no? Okay. This is important, no? Because we will use this in the grid also, no? CSS grids. What is a display property? It's either none, inline, block, or inline block. The important part here is inline and block. Okay. Inline makes it normal inline. A block means separate it. Make a separate. Let's try it. I think it's separate line, no? So this is display inline. Okay. Okay. When you say block, look at that, no? H2, this is okay. The display none, no? Ang hello world class is EX1. So this is EX1. So it's just simple, no? And in div2, H2, we have inline. class is hello world, class is ex2, and the display is in ex2, the display is inline. Okay, so it's like having a span. Do you follow? Parang span siya, di ba? Ang effect. Inline, it's going to change the property inside the line. Okay? Do you follow? And what is block? Pag block, it's going to separate it into as if it's a separate paragraph. It will separate it in a different line. No? Pag inline block, anong pagkakaiba nila pag inline block? Okay. Pag block, it's a separate, Pag inline block, let's try to get the difference. Meron pang flex, no? Grid. There are many others. So the element itself is formatted as an inline element, but you can apply height and width in an in-level block container. Okay, it's like being in a div, no? In an inline, when you say inline block, you're like putting it on a different div. Do you follow? No? Kaya para siyang nag-change yung kanyang spacing. Did we have any character for the spacing of inline block? Wala naman that sometimes certain properties may have very close similarities with others. You try the others, itong display property. Basta ang importante dito yung inline saka block, because we are going to use the difference. When you say inline, it's just like a span. When you say block, it will separate it in a different paragraph. Separate line. Okay, we'll use this topic again when we discuss CSS grids. Okay, so have you used CSS grids? CSS grids are important. It's a very important topic because we will use it when we discuss Bootstrap and W3. Okay, kasi pagdating sa Bootstrap, grids we will concentrate on grids. Okay, title attribute, this is important, no? Okay, when you say a title attribute, a different, this is the title assigned to when you hover over like for example, when you hover here, maging tooltip siya, and then yan. Okay, do you follow? When you hover and you stop, hover and stop, okay, it will give you the title. For example, WHO is assigned a title, World Health Organization. When you hover and stop, it will give you the title. Okay, do you follow? This is an HTML tag, no? Not a CSS attribute. Okay, title tag, no? That's important. Everyone, okay, have you used this before? Now, this is a very important topic, no? Font awesome. Can anybody? Some of you have used Font Awesome. These are used to style icons. Do you follow? Okay. Everyone? Sometimes when you have a button or you have an href, an anchor tag, you will assign an icon to an anchor tag. Right? Para mas maganda tingnan. Do you follow like this? But you have to use this, no? Include this in your code. Okay? In the head section. Okay, let's try this in the head section. Okay. Why don't we try this? Alam, no? And then inside our body, we Try this. I means icon. Okay. Can we have an icon on biology? Font awesome. Mahirap ito, ang daming icon eh. Science icons, no? There are science icons in font awesome. Okay. Okay. You can pick them here, no? Shall we say biology? I-search nga natin. This is the font awesome site. Biology, wala siyang nakita. Animal. Akurat, ito, no? Let's copy this. What's this font awesome? Hirap, no? Yan. Let's identify. Hindi ko malaman kung I forgot. F5E. Ito. FAS, FA from. Okay? Okay? Copy ko muna sa notepad, no? FAS, FA from. So, we can have this. Icon. When you say I, we mean icon. Okay? Let's put an icon here. FAS, FA from. Okay? So after the subject title, before the tag itself. Okay. Let's run this. Problema, baka hindi niya nakuha yung ano. May mali doon sa aking ano, no? It didn't interpret it properly. Let's remove that first. Ayaw niya mag-control X. Let's copy this anyway first. We'll just change the we'll copy this and then we'll put it here. Then we'll just transfer it later. Okay, di niya na ano na include yung font awesome na font awesome. Hindi niya nakuha yung font awesome na space, no? Ito. Anyway, wala tayong problema dyan. Merong ano, no? Kailangan pa ng jQuery. Anyway, we'll just look at this up, no? Ito dapat ang ilalagay, no? We put this. Kailangan ito. In the head. Tama ba? Kaya hindi niya ito na ano, no? The thing is, it may not have. Hindi niya nakita yung font awesome. Obviously, no? You just copy this, everything, no? So, then let me have a text editor. Shortcut nito. Save. Save. Control F. Control V. Control. Copy and paste. Let's paste. Hanap ko kasi hindi yung paste niya is not control V. Copy. Control C is copy. Control V, oh, tama na pala siya, no? So what I'm going to do is, let's copy this example. Font awesome icons. Paste this to my W3 space. Save. Hindi napakita, no? I'm not sure why it's not showing, no? Yan niya na link itong font awesome source. Okay. But we can get a copy of font awesome. No? Baka kailangan ng bootstrap. Okay. Save this. Let me check this out, no? Kasi hindi nag-work. But let me check your, I believe you have a sample there, font awesome, in one of your, no? This allows us to make use of awesome fonts. Anyway, we have 10 minutes left. So we still have time, no? Sino bang nagagamit? Who has used of font awesome? Tingnan nga natin yung kaya, no? Bungag. Walang font awesome. Okay.
Yes, sir. Wala yata.
Sino nagagamit ng font awesome? Kang meron no? have a problem because I cannot link. Ito. Okay. We copy this. Then we'll put it here. Tingnan nga natin. Ito na lang. O, tama lang. May ano na. Okay. Okay. Let's save this. Wala talaga, no? I'm sorry, I was not able to make it work, no? Kasi Font Awesome will give you these fonts. Will give you icons. Okay. Ito, materialize, no? Material icons from Google. Let's just search for a sample, no? Dito, no? Larger icons. Nauubusan natin ng oras. Ito, no? Kasi hindi mag-work yung sa W3 school. Work na ito, no? It doesn't work, you have to try this next week. Walang loop. Ayan. Okay, now we're able to finally make it work, no? Do you follow? Ito lang ang kailangan, ang link. Okay? So let me copy this to a different, ano? To different, maubos na yung oras natin, no? Padali na lang. We have brackets. Brackets, ano? Meron palang bakante. Sorry, na. I-confuse kita lahat. Kasi nagmamadali na eh. Let me erase this. Huwag na lang natin. So let's leave it that way and then we'll just get the other styles. Okay, let me just finish this now. And then my body. Because what I'd like to do is create an icon inside my Ayan. I'd like to put an icon on living organisms. Okay. So I'll say I class FAS I'll put an icon here. FA frog. Okay. Oh, may frog na dito. Do you follow? Do you get my point? I'll remove the other unnecessary things, no? Do you follow? Then I'll put a space. Okay. Now the title, I haven't changed, no? So may icon na dito, no? Do you follow? Everyone?
Yes, sir.
So we will discuss this more, no? I'll give you more examples next meeting. Font awesome. You should be able to be proficient on this, no? This will make your work a lot easier. Put icons like you have anchor tags na gusto nyo lagyan ng icon, no? You can see the different examples, my clouds, okay? Do you follow? All you need to do is put this. I'm not going to erase this, no? Kasi mali yung aking link kanina. Okay? That's why it doesn't work. Don't download a copy. So it's time anyway, no? So any questions? See you on Tuesday. Everyone, thanks for coming. I'm sorry for the late ending. Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Yes.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Present po, Tan, sir.
Tan. Yes.
Alan Nolan din po, sir.
Sino?
Late ako po.
Sino yung isa?
Alan Nolan
Wala.
po and Tan.
Olan. Yes, I've checked Olan. Tan.
Thank you, sir.
Present, sir.
Buok. Is Buok here? And Kaur? So only two people are absent, no?
Ihara, sir. Present ko, sir.
Ha?
Ihara, sir.
Yara, yes, I've checked. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Dalawa
Okay
lang.
na po. Okay na po, Tan, sir.
Tan, yes. Okay na.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you, everyone. No? See you next meeting.
Sir, tanong lang, sir. Yung,
Yes.
nalagay mo kasi yung SASS na material.
SA? SAS.
Yan nga, sir. Nagamit nakasimula na rin kasi ako sa SCSS.
Yes.
Should I update na gamitin yung SAS instead of
Yeah,
SCSS?
I'll give you hindi ko kasi makikita yung SAS doon sa sa website. 'Di ba? Di ko makikita doon. I'll require you to upload your SAS codes somewhere, no?
So, i-change ko pa, sir, ang SCSS ko into SAS.
Ay, wag na muna, no? CSS na muna, okay?
Okay.
Dito
Kaya
naman-
ano kasi, sir, ang nasimulan ko kasi, sir, was
Who is this, please? Sino ito?
with si Sean po, sir.
So gumamit ka ng SAS na dito?
Hindi, gumamit po ako ng SCSS, sir.
Okay. So anyway, I require you to upload your SCSS source code in a zip file somewhere, no?
Okay.
So for the moment in your website, put the CSS. Okay. It's good that you know SAS already because it makes
Hindi, ganun ka familiar, sir. Pero I decided na, ito man latest. So, sige, let's publish yung website gamit ito.
it will make your life easier because you can program CSS, di ba? Pwede kang gumawa ng functions, variables, no? It will make your life a lot easier, no? So it's a new it's a new technology, 2018. Okay? So very new and it's very popular already. So anyway, we'll include it in our syllabus. Okay.
Tapos, ang ginahanap mo, sir, doon sa webpage namin is yung mga exercises na, tama, sir, di ba?
Yes.
Okay.
So exercises, di ko makita yung SAS.
Yeah. Ang ko lang, sir, is, kasi, ang nasa isip ko kasi was,